Welcome to the family with
Alex Brandt Bernard Rasmussen.
Andy Brandt Barnard.
Co-host Catherine Brandt.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We're back on after a week. Well, Andy and Alex, did you go on last week?
I was with you the whole time at Disney World. So
Oh, that's right. We're at Disney World. I keep forgetting
No,
you were
I
there the
was
whole
not
time. No,
here.
you were not. But Andy was
Well, for 2 days.
for 2 days. That's
Yep.
exactly right. So how'd that go? Everything go well?
I mean, the first 2 days went well, yeah. On Tuesday, I did my whole cancer announcement thing.
Well, that's what I heard. We got a lot of well wishes for you on that one, but it's still. So how far did you go into it? Did you talk about the fact that it
Talked
should
about
not-
everything.
It should not be that dangerous.
Yep.
That's good.
Prognosis is good. Talked about, the symptoms, how it happens, et cetera, et cetera. Very informative.
It's all true. So I'm glad to hear that because everybody thought you were very brave and bold to do that. So that I thought was good.
Brave and bold.
Well, because you help other people. 'Cause other people get that and they would go into full tilt panic, which I understand why they would. But maybe you maybe help them out by being upfront with it.
Yeah, I think that was the idea.
I think it was. There's no question about it. So
Oh, okay. We also have to do the shirt.
Oh, the shirt
oh,
results.
yes.
The shirt results.
I have a feeling I already know what the results are.
Yeah.
okay,
Well,
tell me about the shirt
I'm gonna
results.
have to look at your phone because I don't know what it ended up like.
What are we talking about?
Your hideous.
Oh, that hideous shirt. You mean like the one Andy's wearing right now?
I looked
is
at
brand new.
I looked at like people's comments, and pretty much across the board, people say it's a great color, but it
Yep, looks
doesn't
nice on
fit you.
It's way too big.
It's too big, yeah.
Okay, so I have on my Instagram account, which is at I am, just
I am
letters,
very special.
turtle dove.
Turtle dove. Yeah, there you
Yes, 65% say should Tom get rid of this 15-year-old shirt. No is 35%, and a lot of people didn't actually do the response on the poll. They just said words
Like?
well, Tino Lettieri, who I'm never talking to again, says if it feels good, wear it.
Tino.
Yeah.
I love Tino.
And a couple
buddy.
of people are like, yeah, you should keep it because you like it. And it's like, But it needs to go. It looks stretched out, good color, but I'm pretty sure they make new shirts in that color.
See,
Yeah,
this
maybe.
is
My brother
this is
Jeff
what
says, turn your head and cough.
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay.
I don't
Because
get
it looks
either.
like a hospital gown because it's so huge.
No, 'cause it's so
Oh.
big. That's true. Well,
The only thing that's missing is a big gold G.
Gee.
Tell him it looks like it's getting too big for him.
yeah, it's getting there.
It
No
does
doubt
look
about
way
it.
too big for you. And then on give me your phone. I'll look on your Facebook page. I'm pretty sure you got more support on your Facebook page.
Probably
because
sure, of
true.
course.
they're all afraid that you're going to
I'm not afraid.
probably ban them from your
Get off of my page.
from my page.
We don't have that kind of a
Okay,
relationship.
I
on
don't
there.
do Facebook, so I don't know how to do Facebook.
What do you want me to do?
I need to go to the poll.
Indeed.
That's not on Tom Bernard's show. It's on the other one.
It's on yours, right?
Yeah,
Tom Bernard.
Mm-hmm.
it should be one of the top ones.
Perhaps we should have prepared this before the show.
Yeah,
began.
it's
Well, I
just-
didn't
it's
know it
just
was
a
going to be
thought.
that hard. I really don't like dealing
I don't
with
like
Facebook.
using Facebook. It's such a
is just-
complicated mess.
It used to be so easy, but now it's so corporate.
Yeah, there's 10 billion different links on every page. It's just cluttered as all hell.
Yeah, well, anyway, let's just say that you lost and you have to get rid of the shirt.
Oh, let's just say you lost.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, it's
Yeah, I don't know. I can't figure out.
How about if I use it as
Oh,
a-
wait. No, you're wearing the shirt and you're walking.
Okay. How about
But
if
I
I
can't.
wear it as a sleeping gown?
Sleeping gown.
was just-
Okay.
Sometimes you are like a Scottish lord
A
from the
Scottish
1800s,
lord.
and I don't even understand who you are.
Well, Barnard is a Scots name,
Exactly.
so that's
It's like,
true.
what the heck?
Very, very true.
Anyway, we can't figure that out.
Yeah, whatever.
I just
We'll
can't.
blow.
I
We'll
hate
blow through it.
Facebook.
So what's happening, kids?
Well, you went to Disney World, so
We went to
That-
Disney World.
We sure
Yep,
did.
We sure did. Lots of.
you went to Disney World and we had the stomach flu.
Yeah.
Great,
There you have
week,
it.
great
I think
week
we-
for everybody.
Alex, did you know about so
What?
Ne-
What now?
So Ethan, Bop, tell Bop get a picture with Mickey Mouse.
Mm-hmm.
Tell Bop to get a picture with Minnie Mouse. Tell Bop to get a picture with Pluto. Like,
Yeah,
my
I guess while they were all recovering from the norovirus, Ethan was watching a lot of Disney Channel.
Yes, he's been watching like old Mickey, like 1930s.
Oh,
Really?
geez.
He loves the 1930s stuff.
Does he really?
Loves
Sure.
Mickey's Birthday Party, The Little Whirlwind. There's another one he likes. Lonesome Ghosts.
Funny.
It's all
Although-
black and blue, black and white though, right?
Some of them he likes the black and white ones. Like we watched Steamboat Willie, of course.
Oh,
Had to go
great
back
one.
to the beginning.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there was another couple of black and white ones that he watched, but he likes all those old ones because he likes all the cartoon violence.
Oh,
You know, the tornado turns into a big boxing glove and punches Mickey.
You're not
That's
supposed to like that anymore. You're supposed to
Me-
ban children from seeing anything like
well,
that.
it's like videos of cats boxing. He loves that.
I know.
Cats just slapping each other. He thinks it's the funniest thing in the world.
I think
Well, I
most kids
suppose.
can determine that that's not what really happens in real life. The world isn't black
I would
and
hope so.
white, and cats don't don boxing gloves and hit each other.
why not?
They just
They
don't.
could, they would.
They
Come
would.
on.
Did everybody give their pets tranquilizers for the eclipse?
No,
Why do we have to tranquilize?
I've never
I have seen,
tranquilized.
there's been so many ridiculous reports on this eclipse. How
we do
people are very worried about their pets, what to do during the eclipse.
What
just
are
like
they worried
A
about?
short amount of darkness.
They're
I
gonna
don't
get.
think
They're gonna
care.
freak out. They're gonna freak out, and they're gonna get stressed because it's gonna turn darkish for 5 minutes.
Put him in the bathroom.
Turn the lights on in your house.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess it's.
We're not
it's-
even having
No,
We're
we're
not
like
even-
very, very partial.
Yeah, we're gonna have a partial eclipse. The whole school is supposed to go out and watch it, but it's cloudy so far. So
Yeah. Also, we
So
might not
good
even
luck.
know what's happening.
yeah, we it, like
When is it? Like noon?
1:30.
1:30.
Yeah, I remember in elementary school, they we were having an eclipse. I don't know what year it was, but I remember old-fashioned photographs used to have these big negatives. You know, they were about the size of a postcard almost. And I remember
Yeah, you have to
putting
look
like
through 'em.
20 of them together to look through so I could see the eclipse. And another one was you put a pinhole in a piece of cardboard, and
Yeah.
that you could look at the eclipse safely by doing that.
You got the pinhole projector
Yep,
thing.
that's a
yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Well, although I looked through the pinhole, I don't think I understood how it was supposed to work.
You're not supposed to look through the pinhole.
Yeah, you're supposed to like let it shine onto the. Which I always.
Yeah.
It's like what the hell's the point?
I
Let
know.
it let it
remember-
shine onto the street and then look at that. Oh, cool.
Yeah, I remember Gretchen in Recess, the one Saturday morning
Oh yeah.
cartoon. I think her name was Gretchen.
Yes, it was the tall one.
Yes,
Mhm.
she made a pinhole projector to
Mm.
watch an eclipse at school, and I was like, "What is
Yep.
any of this? I've
That's the
never heard of
thing.
any of this in my
Yeah.
life."
And I remember gathering all of my supplies. Saying, my mother's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm going to go out and look at the eclipse." She's like, "Okay." Not, checking to make sure I
you
was
can
going to
watch
it.
do it
Like, cover your
right.
eyes.
Not
Yeah, we
making
told-
sure I wasn't
told
going to look
Sage
directly
to do-
into the sun.
He's told
Good
Sage
move.
to do
Well, that's
this
just how
with
the
his
world-
glasses,
Oh yeah.
and then look,
Oh yeah.
and then keep them on his face.
I mean, the looking at the sun thing is fairly overblown. It's not
Yeah.
like it grazes your eyeballs and you're going to go blind or anything.
Yeah.
You have to actually stare at it for quite a while. But it's
Yeah.
still like
I would
if you
think
tell a
that's-
kid that it's okay to let it touch your eyes for 1 second, they're going to think it's okay to stare at it for 10 solid minutes.
Yeah,
especially
that's true.
depending on the kid.
Yeah.
Well,
There are
if
some
you
certain kids in our class that I am going to have to be like, if it does happen, I'm going to have to like look at them and be like, "Listen to me.
Yeah.
Do not take these glasses off for
If
anything.
you let an eclipse touch you, you die.
Like if you
Yeah, but-
take these glasses off, I'm bringing you inside."
Yep.
Is what's happening.
That's,
like,
just-
that'll be Ethan if he
because-
doesn't change in the next few years because
There's a
that was you.
lot of media
Mhm.
hype about this eclipse.
Oh God,
Yeah,
yes,
so-
a ton of it.
I just don't get it. I don't know.
Some people are going to
I-
react differently, and you're just your pets. Oh my god! Oh my god! Some people think that airplanes are going to it's going to. Yeah. There's possible internet outages, cell phone outages.
Why?
I don't.
It's literally just it goes
It's like
dark for a couple
Y2K.
minutes.
It's the moment of Y2K.
well, it's not like it's the first eclipse that's ever happened.
I know. Airplanes didn't fall out of the sky back then.
And like airplanes fly at night.
Yes, they do.
We like exist during the night when there is not light. I don't understand why people are so worried about it being dark.
I don't know. All,
There is
all
a
I know
total
is,
solar eclipse every 12 years on average.
Yeah, like
yeah.
Oh, in just North America.
Yeah, in just North America.
yeah, we're the
So-
only ones that get total.
Yeah, it looks like every 1 to 3 years there's a total solar eclipse somewhere on the globe.
And
So
people
it's
don't
like-
drop dead, and
Yeah, you would be
animals don't go
thinking-
insane
Yeah.
and bite everybody.
Yeah, there would
Okay.
be like mass casualty events all the time if that was the case. But
Yeah, and then like the total eclipse banner is like basically a diagonal line from Texas
yep.
To New
up
Jersey.
to like yeah.
I saw an
Jersey.
interesting map. It's a map of Airbnbs that are fully booked across the country for this day.
Oh, and
It's literally
like
just a
the
line
strip.
following the solar eclipse. Everyone booked every single Airbnb on that line. So
That's
if you own
so
property
funny.
on that line, it's not too late.
Got the
Charge
surge,
someone $1,000
yeah,
bucks.
the surge charges of
Mhm.
Airbnb, I'm sure, are through the roof for this week.
Yeah, well, it just goes to show people just get wound up about anything, won't they?
They do.
Well, now I have to ask you a question, Andy. You have to look this up. There was it wasn't just a partial eclipse. It was like more than a half eclipse that went through Minnesota, either in the late 50s or early 60s. Would you mind looking that up and seeing when that was?
I remember one when I was a kid, but I don't know if it was like
Yeah.
ultra eclipse
I
time.
feel like I've never seen an eclipse in my life, even though they happen pretty frequently. Like I just don't think
I
I've
think
ever
it happened
seen
when
one.
you were very, very young.
I remember one with Andy, and I remember doing the pinhole thing, and I don't know if we did it right or not that time either.
Yeah, I
Well,
don't know. And
I'm gonna
night,
rev- I'm
if
gonna
it's
reveal-
cloudy, then you can't see it anyway. Like today, it's
No, you can't.
everybody's making a big deal about it, and if it's cloudy, it's not going to matter.
Here we go. Total solar eclipses. We got a list. There
in
was
Minnesota.
the last total was 1979. So never mind. I've never actually seen one.
How about before that, in the 50s or 60s?
the
Yes,
60s,
54 was one of them, but you would not have remembered that. There's
Well,
no
there
way.
had to be one in the 60s because I was in elementary school.
No, it does apparently not.
Well, that's not true.
No,
Why would I be out there with
I
negatives?
guess this
and-
is a. How about weather.gov? Maybe they have better informed.
Maybe they do.
Well, it
Yeah.
could have been a partial eclipse. I mean, I don't know what kind of eclipse it was. I was a child.
Yeah.
I have a full
yeah.
confession to make for the first time in my life after you find out these stats.
Uh-oh.
It might take a while, unfortunately.
Okay, then I'll do the total reveal now. I have a burn hole in the center of my right eye because I stared at the sun during an eclipse.
I
when
thought you
was a
said it was
kid.
because you were a welder.
Yeah, you told us that it was because
That's-
you were.
It was the big lie because I didn't want to admit I was stupid
No.
enough to stare at the sun.
Huh.
You've been lying about that all these years.
All these years I've been lying about
Or
it.
he's
Okay.
making.
I got the
story
burn
up
hole
right
in my
now.
right eye because I stared at the sun because it was supposed to eclipse.
Huh.
Oh my, she's staring at me
Why
like
would you lie all these years?
because it was a really stupid thing to do.
well, it's
That's
stupid to
why.
lie, too.
Okay, so there's double stupid. Then.
Well, there is
Stupid.
It's double stupidity is what we're talking about.
Okay, well,
But
interesting.
I think that it was either the late 60s, late 50s or early 60s. Or I suppose any time during the 60s.
I would say it around 66, 67. Because
Yeah,
been old
well,
enough
that'd
to,
be about right. Yeah, because I think I was like
yeah,
14.
I still was a kid, but I was old enough to gather things to look at it. So I would guess I was 7 or 8.
There you go.
Anyway,
Here we go. 15 total eclipses to affect at least a portion of the U.S. over the past 150 years. And it looks like 54, 63, 70, 79.
70.
So yeah, there was a bunch when you guys were
Okay,
kids,
could've
and then we
been
didn't have one
70,
for like
could've
been
40
70.
years. But yeah, no, there has never apparently. Well, there was one in 2017.
What, a total eclipse in Minnesota?
Well, across the U.S. It actually
Oh,
came
across
very
the
close
US,
to
okay.
Minnesota. So there was one very close to Minnesota in 2017. But aside from that, that's the only one in my lifetime. So I don't know what I was thinking of.
There you go.
Hmm.
It was maybe it was a moon one.
Lunar eclipses you can just look at.
Yeah, you can look at those.
I think. Maybe I'm wrong.
Who knows? But
Don't look at a lunar eclipse without looking it up first.
yeah, there you go.
I guess our video of Jude being a big baby on the bridge on
Which
the
one?
boardwalk
Oh, you took a video of
Ooh.
that?
today.
Every video of Jude is Jude being a big baby. It
I
seems.
know this one was that little
Judy.
pier that they built to go
Yeah,
out to those
that
little
he
islands
hates 'cause it's
because
freaks him out.
it changes into
Yeah.
that
Metal
metal
with
slant
holes in
stuff
it.
and
Yeah, he doesn't
it
like
makes
it.
funny noises.
And his toenails probably get stuck a little
I
bit.
think that's probably what it was because when he was a puppy, they had just built that, and it took him quite some time to get brave enough to go over it. But then he didn't really think about it at all. But then I haven't been bringing him over there. I don't know why, but I
Boat
hadn't
show
been
for a
boat
month.
show. Just haven't been bringing him, and this time he was just like, "I'm not going over it. Just not gonna do it."
No, he wouldn't do it.
He took two tiny little baby steps. He's like, "Okay, I'll try it."
Yeah, I have a
No.
picture from 5, maybe 6. Actually, yeah, it's got to be 6 years ago now of him doing that same thing over at the little pier by your house.
Yeah.
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 Special
He
little
didn't
guy.
like it then either.
Nope, he's never liked it, and he didn't like it yesterday.
Special little guy.
Yep,
That's hilarious.
he is.
Judith. That's all we have to say. Judy.
His arch nemesis in the building died.
Yeah. That
Oh,
big
no.
sheepdog died.
Rest in peace.
Oh,
What
yeah?
was that dog's name?
Let's not say his name.
Okay. Well, okay.
I don't know. I don't want anybody getting mad about anything.
Alrighty then.
You never know.
Anyway,
All right. So what else is
R.I.P.
happening?
Anonymous dog.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. So what else is happening in the world? Anything important we should know?
Well, people probably want to hear about how Disney World was.
Yeah. And I've lived 5 lives since we last saw you. So
Why? What happened?
Oh, that's right. You had a dance thing right away on Saturday.
yeah, and then just all sorts of things have happened. So it's
Like what?
been well. Our flight. We got on the airplane to leave Disney World. Sat there for like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Nobody said anything. Then all of a sudden, a bunch of us get a text. We're supposed to leave at 3:40 or something like that. All of a sudden, we all get a text. Your flight now departs at 6. And we're looking at each other like, did you just get that? What's going on?
No announcement, but
No
a text
announcement of
message.
any kind.
Of
Just a
course.
text message from Delta. And then all of a sudden, one of the flight attendants walks through and she's like, I know you're all looking at me like I should have information, but I don't. She's like, I'm going to go up front and try to figure out what's going on.
Why is it that every time you fly, something bad happens?
We fly a lot.
It's weird.
When we flew down there, it was seamless.
There you
Actually,
go.
no, we were delayed a little bit.
You were delayed, yes.
Hmm.
Just a little bit, though. And they let us know ahead of time.
Oh, that's nice.
When you fly a lot, you're just bound to have things
Yeah.
happen. And
Especially
so
these
then all of a
days.
sudden, they're like, the pilot comes on and she's like, Atlanta just let us know that we can't take off and we'll hopefully get out of here at 6. So we're going to have you get off the plane
Atlanta.
because that's like the hub or whatever.
But you were
Yeah,
not
like
to
it's
go-
like
you have to go-
Delta's HQ.
Yeah,
basically.
that's like, yeah.
Mm.
And so she was like, so we're going to deboard, take everything with you in case they have us take another plane. And so we're like, okay, well, we will get off the plane. We'll grab some dinner, whatever, like we'll have a meal and then we'll land and it'll be fine. And so we get to the restaurant. We order some food. What is going on? We get to the restaurant. We order some food. And then all of a sudden I get a text message from Delta. You're leaving at 5:15. Boarding is now starting.
Oh,
Then we're like, oh, can we get our food to go? Because okay. And so then the guy wraps it up to go. We get on the airplane, and there was this like college age kid probably sitting next to Dan, and he was very worried about missing a connection, and he didn't make it back on the plane.
Oh, God.
I know.
Oh,
Dan.
God.
Dan was like, I feel so bad for that kid.
Oh.
yeah, no. When you got a delay like that, you don't go very far because
Yeah,
you never
and I
know
mean,
what's
like
going to happen.
the terminals in Orlando aren't very big because it's like the center is a circle with restaurants and shops and stuff, and then it
Right.
has different
Mhm.
branches that you go down, like the hallways with the gates, but they're not very long. So we got to the restaurant and we were all of 3 minutes away from our gate still. So we got lucky that we were like, oh, wrap this up quick and all right, we'll go. So we got back on the plane and we departed and we got in, later than we were supposed to. So fun, got to bed later than it would have been preferable. And then she had to wake up at 6:15 because she had a dance competition that we had to be at 7:30. She competed her solo. She competed her duet. There were awards for that. She did her jazz. She did her tap. She did an improv competition. Awards for that. And then we stayed for a little bit so we could watch some of the older girls dance, because usually the competitions, the older girls dance a different day than Fawn, so we don't get to see them. And so we stayed and watched some dances, and then we left because I was like, I have had one macro bar today, and it was 3 p.m. And I was like, I need to go have some actual food. So we went home, and then Dan was setting up his new office because he starts his new job today. And Sage was like, I want to go watch. He has this girl that is one of Fawn's friend's older sisters. I want to go watch her do her solo. And then I was like, well, Dan's just setting up his office, so we'll just go back and watch dances. And we were there until 7:30 p.m. So we got there at 7:30 a.m. No, we got there at 7 a.m. Went home and ate we were there for like maybe 30 minutes, and then went back to watch more dances. Left at 7:30 p.m. Fawn was so mad at me. I was a terrible mom, and I never let her do anything.
Get used to it.
And all of that. And then we put the kids to bed. And then Sunday we woke up and went to the auto show.
Oh,
Oh, no. Saturday, twice during the night, Sage got bloody noses.
from
Yeah.
what?
Flying
Dry
can do that.
Minnesota.
He gets bloody noses. He's just.
When
one
I
of
was a
those
kid, I got
kids.
bloody noses
Yeah.
every 2 weeks. It was
gets
probably
them-
a week.
I'd say he gets them like every other month during the dry months.
And it might get worse.
And flying and then being in humidity and then
Mhm.
back into, and we didn't have his humidifier on while we were gone, so his room was
Oh, yeah.
dry.
Mhm.
Yep.
So they weren't bad bloody noses though, because he can really
Yes.
get. It was only one side, and I was like, okay, and they stopped pretty quickly, but it happened twice in the night, so I was like so flippin' exhausted, and then bloody nose, of course. And then we went to the auto show yesterday because we're looking to get a 3-row SUV, and we were like, this is the perfect place to go and check all of them out right next to each other. Because I was like, I just want to make sure the third row is comfortable. Like, what's everything look like? What are the deals that can be happening? Like, we found out
Where's-
that
Where's Doug working now? Didn't he just?
He has started
Yeah,
a new
he's-
job on the 1st.
Yeah.
But it's an auto dealership, right?
Yeah. What I can't,
maybe
can't
we'll
remember what it's
Give
called.
him a little shout out.
oh,
Yeah,
all right.
Dougie.
Find something.
Someone in the
Um,
chat will tell us, I'm sure.
But yeah, we were looking at cars, and the Nissan Pathfinder wasn't even
Mhm.
on our list, but that I think was that was one of our favorite ones that we saw. We just happened to walk by it, and then we went in it and we were like, this is really nice. And I like the color was really pretty and all these things. Anyway, and then Dan starts a new job today. So, and we had to change our entire schedule of how we operate during the work and school week because he's got a new job, so his schedule is different, and the kids have their activities, and so who's taking who to what and picking them up and blah 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 is all shifting. So I'm like,
You need a flow chart on the wall.
One bit of good news for you, though, is I don't remember what airline it was or where they were flying out of, but yet another airplane taken off. It's about 10 feet off the ground when the right wing starts falling apart.
what?
Where was that?
I don't know where it was. Maybe Andy can find
What
it.
is going on with all the airplanes?
The cover just ripped right back off. And luckily, they were not far enough off the ground.
Engine cowl fell off. It was another Boeing. I'm never flying on
What
a Boeing
airline?
plane again.
What
I'm not
airline?
kidding.
Most airplanes are
They're all Boeing,
Yeah.
aren't they?
Airbus isn't.
Oh yeah, there's Airbus.
We like Airbuses.
Well, it's not like you can choose.
Yeah, you can.
No,
Not
not
really.
really.
We had to when we flew down to Florida because the Boeing planes don't have enough space under the seats to put pets anymore.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
Airbuses, on the other hand, do.
That guy got fired, didn't he?
I hope
The
so.
Boeing.
Or he
hopefully.
retired.
Somebody needs to
Mr.
be
Boeing?
fired.
Yeah,
David
Jonathan
Boeing?
Boeing.
Jonathan Boeing.
I think that. I
actually.
mean, but is it Boeing's fault or is it the maintenance department's fault?
Both.
Well, they're the
probably.
ones who hired the maintenance department, so vet your people better.
Where was this?
Denver, early Sunday. So just early yesterday.
What
Piece of
airline?
metal that covers the engine, so the cowls fell off and struck a wing flap. Southwest
Unbelievable.
So
Airlines.
what happened?
Southwest. Oh,
Mhm.
they're considered one of the better ones.
Well, luckily they were only about 10 feet off the ground, so they could just put it right back down.
Well, what
Just
the
glue it on.
heck?
Just glue it back
Yeah,
on.
anybody got some duct tape? The Minnesota way.
I know
We can fix
Sage.
that up.
We were over the wing for both flights, and he
That's a better
likes to sit
ride.
by the window. And so when we were landing, and Sage was like, "There's cracks in the wing." Like the flaps go up, and
Oh,
he's like,
yeah.
"It's cracking off," and I was like, "No,
Oh,
no,
God. No,
that's
no,
supposed
settle
to
down.
happen. It's
Do not
that's
say
what helps
that.
us stop. Like it's good that it's doing that." And he was like,
Let's not cause a panic.
he didn't seem upset. He just was kind of like, "There's cracks in the plane. Like the wing's got cracks on it." It's like it's
The flaps.
Just been watching the news.
that's fine.
Oh, that'll happen.
Don't worry about it.
I gotta tell you that saying goodbye to you guys last Friday, that was very.
Oh, I know.
Fonnie was so sweet.
Fonnie got upset.
Sage in the morning before we even saw you had like a 10-minute crying episode
Oh,
about not being with you guys anymore. He was like, "I want Nana and Bob to come home on the same plane that we're coming home on."
Yep.
And he's like, "And I want to stay in Florida, and they can come home when we come home." And I was like,
That would work.
they're
It's
going
gonna
back to
be a
their
while.
condo, and then we're going to our house. And he's like, "I know, but they should come back when we come back." And I was
just a
like,
few weeks.
it'll
Just a few
be-
I
weeks.
think I need new socks.
you'll see
I
that.
think so.
Oh dear.
That's a good look.
When did that happen?
That happens to me
Made
all
by
the time.
Boeing.
Yeah, they're Boeing socks.
They're
Yes.
Boeing socks coming
Boeing
apart.
socks.
Low quality.
Yeah,
socks.
Ethan's
Those
gotten to
Those
the
are
point where
worn
he starts
through.
getting mean when people leave that he doesn't want to leave.
Oh,
Oh, he
says
gets
So-
mean.
Instead of being like, sweet and sad, he's mad at them because they're leaving.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
That sounds like Fawn. Fawn gets a little mad too.
But she was so sweet at
used
the
to.
airport. She used
Yeah.
to, but not anymore.
I know it's
And they don't want you to
bittersweet.
leave.
But if anybody wants some Disney World advice,
Yes.
Okay, Disney World advice. Here
do
we
not buy the Lightning Lane Genie Plus thing
Oh,
for
God.
Epcot.
No?
Unless you
No.
want to get on Ratatouille, and that means, and it's worth it
Well,
to you.
even then, you don't know if it's going to work. You
Well,
don't
no,
know.
we could have booked Ratatouille. We thought we could book a couple at once. You can only do one at a time.
Yes.
So we could have booked Ratatouille at 7 a.m.,
God,
we could have.
gross.
but we didn't. We booked Soarin' because we're like, oh, we'll book Ratatouille later, and then the rest of the day. So yeah, the real tip is if you do get Genie Plus, book Ratatouille first.
Which
Yeah.
is it? Which when the park is busy, which it was because it's spring break, it was $39 extra per person to use the Lightning Lane, and you got to think about that though, because in Epcot, there's really only 3 rides where you would need the Lightning Lane.
Right.
Yeah. It's
Most
like
of the
it's
time.
$240 for what, a 3-minute experience?
Exactly.
Let's-
So
let's
I mean,
start
in the Magic Kingdom, because there are so many rides, and you can get there early if you stay in one of the park resorts, and even a half an hour made a big difference. We got on like 3 rides before the park even started remotely getting busy.
There was a guy on social media who said his tip is to queue on the left. Does that mean anything to
Yes,
you?
everything
Yes.
always go to the left. Oh no, don't tell people these things.
Yeah,
I
there
don't
you
think
go.
our audience is big enough to sway the lines at Disney.
You
World.
never know.
But so what does
they'll
that-
tell people.
What
and
does
then
that even
it's-
mean? There's 2 queues then? Or
Well, sometimes you just go off to the left to get just to get into the park. Everybody will be there will
Oh.
be 15, 25, whatever rows to get in, and everybody goes to the right ones. And if you go off to the left, there's always a stroller one
Yeah.
way to the left. Or you can just stay, you have to stay in the really long line to the right for the stroller. So if you just run over to the left, you're going to get through the lines faster, for sure.
Yes, yeah, that's what we
That
looked
kind
for.
of thing.
Yes,
or
that's
or
what we
even
did.
to line up for a parade. Go off to the left. People
Mm-hmm.
always have a tendency to go to the right. I don't know why.
I will tell you one thing, though. We ran into our buddy Tim on Saturday after getting back from Disney World on Friday. And I won't say Tim's last name, my good buddy Tim. We ran into him, and he said, oh, I heard you guys were down at Disney or up at Disney World. I said, yeah, we're up there having a great time. He goes, my family just got back 2 weeks ago. And it's not called the Lightning Round
Oh
or
yeah,
the
I didn't
Lightning
even
Pass
hear about
or-
this. This
Genie
was some-
Pass, right?
No,
No,
this
this is one
was
above
some
it.
sort of superior thing that
Ah,
was.
Super Genie Pass.
I never even heard of it. Maybe
So-
you have to be like a pass holder or one of those.
Maybe, yeah.
Well, there was the
Club
Fast Pass,
36.
but that's
That
That's
doesn't
been
gone.
replaced by the
Well, yeah, it's Lightning Lane and Genie Plus. Those are the only ones.
Genie
You-
Plus is Lightning Lane.
Yeah, you have to buy a Genie Plus to schedule Lightning Lane.
Yeah, it's very complicated, and you can only buy it after midnight, and you
On the
have
day
and,
of.
and you have to you are only allowed to book your first ride at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
This is like some bordering on National Treasure. You have to find Walt Disney's mummy and pour gold into his mouth to access the
ridiculous.
special lanes.
We're sitting there in the bus in the dark because we got up so early so we could get to the Magic Kingdom early.
Yep.
And all the parents are sitting there with their little lightning
Yep,
lane.
refreshing it.
And it was just like it really does. I mean, it's supposed to be a vacation.
Yeah, it doesn't sound fun to me. I don't know. Apparently
Everybody's
they
on
do.
their app. Everybody's looking down. The park map is on their app. Everybody's just like stuck to their phone because that's how you negotiate Disney World now.
Yep.
And they're clogging up, the traffic flow of people because they're all staring at their telephones.
Well, Tire Carver has some tips for us.
I got to add one more
okay?
thing before I tell you. No, I'm
Take a sip of something.
the Malalukas are kicking my ass.
I know my allergies
yeah.
are terrible.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm all hoarse.
I'll finish the Tim story. So we ran into Tim, and he said, "Oh, we just got back last week," and he said, "I went to buy the whatever that upper end pass to everything is.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
You get a fast pass to everything. It has a name, but I can't remember what it was.
Okay, I thought that was the guide. You had
Yeah.
to buy a guide.
No,
Yeah.
it's not the guide. These are just passes. He went to get them. He placed an order. They said, here's your order. And he hadn't given him a credit card yet. He had 10 people in his party. The fast pass upper echelon was $10,000.
$1,000 a person.
$1,000 a person.
I don't know what that pass is. You must know people.
That sounds like he's like reserved the rides.
I don't know what it was, but
block of
$10,000 for 10
Can you
people.
even get on Tron and Rise of the whatever the things are that everybody's
I don't know.
never get in on?
So you do have Tire Carver?
Indeed.
Indeed.
Hello.
What's happening, Pally?
Not much. Before you start planning your next trip, there's a website called Kenny the Pirate, and he
Kenny.
has estimated park.
Fullness.
Yeah, how many people will be in the parks on what days?
Oh, crowd
And,
calendar kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah, that's the words I was looking for. Thank you. But he's been pretty accurate the last couple of years on predicting like a year out in advance on how swamped the place is going to be. And, that's a place you have to look when you go, hey, let's go this date. And then you look at it and go, maybe not.
Yeah, I think any time during spring break is a very bad time.
Well, the
to
problem is
will
you've got
say that
kids, so it's like you have to go when
Yeah,
kids are
when-
not in school, and it's always going to be full when kids are not in school. So it's,
I will
what do you do?
Exactly.
I will say that Disney World, I mean, we've gone during all sorts of times, and it just always seems pretty busy. And the waits always seem kind of long. But like Disney World, when we did the Genie Plus thing, it was so worth it. We used it like 7
that was
times.
worth it.
We got on
Yes.
almost every single ride that we wanted to.
I know, but
And
think
by the
about
time
that
we-
for like a family of 6, or I mean, it gets to be cost prohibitive. for
Yeah, I mean,
people.
you'd have to go. I know, yeah, because it's January and February are pretty slow because there's no school breaks.
Mhm.
After September
September is
and
the
early
slowest month.
October are pretty slow. And then summer is slower.
Yeah.
That's all the
Yeah.
Floridians go then.
Yep.
They do, yeah.
They don't mind the 100%.
Yeah, they're like,
humidity,
it's not even
100
hot up here.
degrees.
Yeah. Now but he breaks it down to like individual days.
Oh.
So like say on Monday, Tuesday, you don't want to go to Magic Kingdom, but Epcot's empty.
Mhm. Ah.
Oh,
So you kind of plan it that way around that, there's certain days of the week, why I don't know, but there's certain days of the week where you don't want to be in Magic Kingdom. You'd want to be Animal Kingdom or, one of the other ones. But then there's later days in the week where they're busier and Magic Kingdom's slower. So
Well, Magic Kingdom
Kind of-
skews younger, so it's going to be
Yes.
all about the school schedules.
Yeah.
Epcot is kind of like teenagery.
There's also, yeah, I think they also have
Yeah.
conventions and things like
And
that.
yeah,
in
there's
that
special
area.
events.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know. So yeah, because
Yeah,
I mean,
when
when it's
dance
really crowded
competitions
and
and
everything's a
stuff are down there.
2 hour,
Dance
sorry,
competitions.
Dance,
I'll be there for one of those in July.
2 hour wait times to ride anything. I mean,
Yep.
why? It's the most horrible experience in the world. But when it's not crowded, it's a great place to go.
Yeah, when
Agreed.
it's not crowded.
Yeah. Well,
That's why we go in August when it's hot as heck and so humid as all get out.
That's a good call.
Yep.
It is a good
the
call.
best time I went with just Tom many years ago before we had children. We went to Disney World and it was just so cold.
It was about 45
It was
degrees.
so cold. Everybody left the park.
Except
And
for
we're like,
us.
we're from
Nope,
Minnesota.
we
We can be here all night long. We were just getting in and off the rides 5 times. We're like, woohoo, this is great. There wasn't
Yeah.
a soul there.
We went during spring break 2 years ago, and my friend Dana came with us because Dan had a work conflict thing, and it was pouring rain for like a straight hour. The streets were flooding. Literally, if you walked across the street, there was water rushing over your feet.
Yep.
And the park cleared out. And 2 hours after that, it was just like hardly anyone was there. It was awesome.
Yep.
That's-
Yeah.
yep.
Survive the thunderstorm and you're great.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever there's a hurricane prediction, that's when you go to Disney.
Go to Disney World. It's true. It still is a ball. I mean, it was packed. There's no question about it, especially leaving. My God, it was horrible.
Well, we ended up following the parade out, which was
We did.
stupid. We should
yeah,
have
that'll-
done something else.
that'll
for a
slow you
little while.
down.
Yeah, it was bad.
But it's a wonderful place. The food is good. The rides are fantastic. The children just love it. The adults love it. It is a great place to go. If you've never been to Disney World, you got to go. It's wonderful.
Yep. Agree.
Another tip is if you have little kids, you go as early as you possibly can before it's hot.
Mm-hmm.
Go on all the rides that plan that all out so you're in a world and you can get that whole thing done and then head over to another world and then leave in the afternoon when it's crazy and it's just a sea of strollers and moms bitching at their kids and dads sulking and all of that, and then go back in the evening.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's
a
nice
lot
in
of
the
people
evening.
leave. A
Yep.
lot of people leave, and it's just way nicer.
Yeah, like 5 o'clock, it clears out because all the kids have to
Yeah.
leave and go to
And it-
bed, eat dinner, and yeah.
And if the kids are so small that they can take a nap in the afternoon, and then you can keep them
Yep.
up a little bit, or you can go to the pool, and they love going to the pool. So
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, too, is like when you're thinking about going to Disney World, you have to think about the type of people you are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've talked to Andy about this because he's like, when should we go? And blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I told him, I was like, don't go. Like, the earliest that I would tell anybody to bring a child is 4,
yeah, maybe 5.
maybe 5. Like, because they won't remember it beforehand. And the only reason that we brought our kids when they were a lot younger is because I am a Disney adult. And I love Disney World, and Dan loves Disney World, and we don't mind crowds, and we don't care really about waiting in line and maneuvering around people and dealing with all of the things. That doesn't bother us. But a lot of people don't like crowds, don't like all of this stress and the being on your feet and the waiting in the line. So it's like,
planning. You
and
have
all
to
the planning.
plan.
There's tons of planning. So it's like, and if your kid too, if you have a young kid and you're not the type of person that goes around and does a lot of stuff and is just like busy, you're going to take your kid to Disney World and they're going to be so overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
So overwhelmed. And it's just not going to be a fun experience for anybody. You know?
We first took our daughter when she was 18 months old.
Oh, God.
She doesn't remember any of it.
No, they
No,
won't
of course
not. Of course
remember
not.
anything.
There are pictures and videos she looks at and goes, that looks like I was having fun.
Mhm.
And she had a ball. I
Yeah.
mean, they'll have fun. They won't remember it, but
No.
man, burn your camera up, burn the video camera up, take as many pictures as possible.
Yep.
because
Yeah.
There are pictures of her when she first met Minnie Mouse, where she's like twiddling her fingers together in anticipation of like, oh my God, she's real.
Yep.
And there's no way you're ever going to do
Great.
that with a video. You know,
No.
and she can look at that and just laugh her ass off now because it's like, oh my God, I did that.
Yeah.
I know.
And if you bring them at 4, you're not going to get, you might get the reaction, but probably
Yeah.
not.
Right.
They're going to be a little older and wiser on things like, yeah, that's a person in a costume.
Yeah.
Fawn has always been that way.
Yeah, but when they're 3 and 4 and they meet the characters, they really do believe that that's the character.
Yeah.
And they really do get excited. Like I
Yep.
remember
Yeah.
Alex bursting into
Yep.
tears because she saw Minnie Mouse.
Yeah.
And
But after
then all,
that,
but then
but
all
she's
the
not
rest.
going to
She was
remember
31.
that, but that's for the grown-ups.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's where you
Exactly.
just go do the character stuff and then do a few whatever your kid likes to do and then just get out.
Yeah, it's like
Get
you might
out
as
of the
well
park.
just take them to Mall of America and have them
That's
do
true.
the Toddler Tuesdays
Yeah.
character thing, because then that's exciting.
That
'Cause
is
it's just
true.
like going into Florida, because then all the ride stuff and the like, oh, they're tired and oh,
And
you
it's-
should go back.
it's
Like,
so
oh, it's a lot.
Expensive now to go to.
It depends on the
It's-
kid too.
Yeah,
Because like
it- yeah.
Ethan, so Ethan, he wakes up and we did some closets, put some stuff everywhere. The house is kind of a mess at the moment. So he's like going around pointing at, oh, this picture wasn't there before. He thought that was cool.
Yeah.
And then he sees something on the table and he points at it and he goes, oh, it was a empty cardboard box that used to have ginger ale in it.
Yeah, there you go.
So
new
for some
treasure.
kids,
Exciting.
Yep.
just literally garbage will make their hour.
Yep.
Exactly.
So I don't need to bring him to Disney World when half an empty box of ginger ale is gonna give him entertainment for
Yeah.
the next half hour.
I know.
That's
That is wonderful.
funny.
No, I got to tell you something. Tyre and Andy, they're not telling you the whole story because we went to the beer garden in Germany,
Mm-hmm.
We did.
and Dan and Alex and Nana all ordered a beer. And I don't know how they got 3 55-gallon drums onto one table, but they did. That beer it must have been 2 gallons.
I remember
It
from
was-
last year. It was
So much beer.
it's probably like 3-4 cans worth of beer
It's a boot.
in one
Whatever a
bowl.
boot is.
That's a lot.
boot.
It was
A boot of
Let's
beer.
see.
No,
A beer boot is it depends.
it wasn't a boot. It was a
I thought it was a boot.
stein.
Well, I think
Yeah,
they call it a boot.
they're huge.
It's huge.
It
I'm
was-
looking at it, it's like, my
A
God.
traditional stein is a liter of beer, so that would be a quart.
A quart, yeah.
Well, I
That's
couldn't
a lot of
finish it,
beer.
and I was carrying it around in a plastic cup, and finally I gave it
I
to
know,
Dan.
same thing with me. I was wandering around with it in a plastic cup for like an hour and a half, and I was like, "Why am I still holding this?"
Yeah,
I-
it's
I-
warm. It's old. It's
Warm German beer.
Yep.
yeah, delicious.
Food is phenomenal. The entertainment at the beer garden is
The
fantastic.
beer garden is
It's
such
a
a
hidden
fun
gem.
little.
gem.
It's quiet.
Yep.
It's sort of dark.
Dark because it's
Food
like
is
supposed
good.
to be a night in like Bavaria kind of thing.
Yeah, and they have this. It's not really a polka band, but German music.
German music.
They,
yeah.
they come out with all these weird instruments, and the
do
kids
the
get to go out
bells.
and dance.
Yeah.
And they have a great time. And it's a nice little
Yep.
escape hatch.
And it's a buffet, so you can just go up
Yep.
and get as much food as you want, and the kids can pick stuff which they love. Like
and it's never overly busy. You can get in there and you can actually relax. It's not super loud. And when they do music, it's only maybe 10 minutes?
yeah,
15?
10, 15, yeah.
10, 15.
Because
and
they
it's not-
do the band stuff on stage, and then they come down and do the bells, and then they do the giant
cowbells.
horn thingy,
Yeah, the giant horn thingy.
The horn
and then they
thingy.
say goodbye, and
Yeah.
you sing "I'm Prosit" twice, and then
Yeah.
yeah.
And they leave.
yeah,
My
it's great.
favorite thing, I got to tell you, is the bell ringing.
I know that's
There are
fun.
2 guys that ring the bells, and they're just right on time,
Yeah.
right in tune. It's really cool
Well,
to
they've been
watch.
doing
Yeah.
it for, what did he say, 30 years?
Yeah,
Same guys?
loved it.
Yeah, I think
Amazing.
I know.
And the only other thing I'd want to say is if you're bringing younger than 3 or 4-year-old kids, and even at that age, you better learn to read your kids because as soon as they start having the
Yep.
smallest of a fit,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
get them into something, air conditioned or get
Yeah.
out.
Know the signs. Yep.
Yeah,
Know the signs of
I don't know how many
fatigue.
times we've seen kids in complete meltdown in the middle of the street because
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
mom
yeah.
and dad had to get here.
Yeah, we were in line for the People Mover,
Yep.
and there was this mom with two kids. I don't know, what were they, maybe 9 and 12, and she bitched at them nonstop for the entire line. If you don't do this right now, you're getting sunscreen on whether you like it or not.
Oh my God.
Stop checking your sister. Stop looking at your sister. Stop looking at your
I know, and the entire time,
I really mean. I mean, it was like, oh my God.
you know, and the entire
lady,
time we were on the
leave.
People Mover, Dan was like, this woman.
Oh, she was
Because
so
we would go, because
mean.
in the People Mover, you go into like a dark part for a bit, and then you're out in the light, and then you're in the dark part, and he's like, and every single time we go into the dark, she's like, sunglasses off, and then we'd go into the light part,
she
and she'd
was
go,
a
sunglasses on.
She
I was
was
like-
a drill sergeant.
Yeah,
she
she
was
was
a
intense.
misery. She was a misery.
You know, I was like,
Yeah.
I didn't even notice, and Dan was like, oh,
She's the,
this
she's
lady
the type of
needs
person that
to
should
calm
never go to Disney
I don't know,
World.
it's like you're not having
Yeah,
fun
like,
at that
it's-
point.
no.
Why are you here?
No, and
that's
you're
the thing.
making
Yeah, like
your
that's the
kids
thing.
miserable and the people standing around you miserable. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's the thing that you need to consider if you're going to go to Disney World. Like, will it actually be fun? Like, if it's hot, if it's busy, if I have to wait in line, if nothing works out, if the kid's having a fit, like, will I still be able to enjoy myself, or will it just be a miserable experience?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you
Figure
just
that
gotta
out.
Yeah,
keep yourself from getting to that point.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know.
I don't know.
In your scenario with the Wonder Woman, there, it's like, where was Dad? Did he have enough?
Yeah, you always do wonder. You need to have two parents when you go to Disney World.
No kidding.
There's a lot of
3 or 4 would
wrangling
be
going
great.
on. Yeah,
yeah. I don't even
I
know.
know,
bring
I
grandparents,
saw-
bring the aunts and uncles. Just
have a whole crew.
get the squadron.
I saw a couple of like single grandparents with 2 or 3 smaller children doing Disney, and I was like, how the hell
I know.
would you do this?
Yeah.
I
know we made the
no way.
mistake of bringing an uncle with once, and that's never happening again.
No,
Oh, what happened?
Oh, Dwayne, our son, was starting a meltdown, and we're like, we're leaving. Well, I want to go in these next 2 stores. Good, take the bus home. We're leaving.
Yeah.
hmm
You know,
once a
That's the
kid starts,
solution.
you cannot stop. No amount of toys or candy is going to make it okay.
No. A friend
Yep.
of ours,
Well, it's like-
we were on the phone with yesterday, and we mentioned that we were in Disney, and he had just gone with twin 4-year-olds.
Yep.
And he said, worst experience of my life.
Oh,
It was horrible.
man,
That's true.
Twin 4-year-olds.
that's a lot.
Yeah. So,
I don't know. I thought it was a wonderful time from start to finish. The kids really loved it. I knew that Fawny, kind of broke down. I didn't know that Seiji did too earlier in the day, but we felt the same way about it. You get in the car and you guys are getting on the airplane and we're heading out of town, and it's just after being together with your family for 4 days like that, it was wonderful. It was great.
yeah, and they're sort of the perfect age. 5 and 7 is
Yeah.
really, because they can hang
Yeah,
the
like they
whole
have the
day.
stamina.
They still are afraid of like the roller coasters and the scarier rides, which is fine. But they can hang. There's not fit throwing and crying because they're
No.
tired or
Well, that was
hungry.
like-
they can just say they're hungry now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nice.
You know what's going on.
I remember when we went with Dana, which was 2 years ago. That was the first year that we were like, because we were at the park for one of the parks. I think we were out for 11 hours, and the other we were out for 9.
Oh, God.
They didn't take naps. They were just like fine all day, and we bounced around, and like it all was good. And we are like, okay, we're in it.
Sometimes you just
Right.
get in that golden zone. You never
Yep.
know.
And I mean, they've been in training every day of their life to do that type of thing with Dan and myself as their parents, because we don't ever like sit still
All right.
or
Never.
sit. Oh. If I am in my house for more than 24 hours, I want to burn it down. Truly, I am like, get me out of here. I hate it. I want to do anything except be in this house. I can't.
Your own
You get
house?
cabin
Horrendous.
fever in your own house.
No, thank you.
Mhm.
I don't like just sitting at home at all. I mean, a little bit sometimes, but not. No, thank
Not
you.
with regularity.
No, sounds horrendous.
I understand that. I suppose that is true. I don't know. Like I said, it's such a great experience. One thing that you guys will, I suppose in the next 20, 25 years, something like that, when you go to Disney World as a grandparent with your children and their children, it's fantastic. I mean, it's 3 generations of the same family in the park. It's wonderful.
I can't wait. It's going to be so awesome. I'm going to be like the most ridiculous grandma of all time. And
You
it's
decided?
going to be awesome.
Nan's pretty ridiculous. Nan is kind of ridiculous.
Wait, I'm going to be,
I
I'm
fall
totally
short
going to
in
be,
every way.
I-
Just kidding. Relax.
What did you
I'm
say?
going to be one of those grandparents that's like obsessed with their grandchildren. I have a feeling. It's going to be.
Why? Because everybody in your family already was?
What?
That's because everybody else in your family already was?
No, like, you know how there are those grandparents that it's like they've got pictures of their grandkids and they'll talk to everybody that will listen about their grandkids and
Right.
will like just wants to be with their grandkids all the time. And the parents have to be like, no, leave my kids alone. You're crazy.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
going to be like that.
You're going to be like that. Okay.
It's going to be
You're
great.
going way over the top.
Yes, that's my goal.
Well, may as well. May as well. What the
I got to
hell?
get back to work.
All right,
Get to
Buster.
work.
Thanks, Tyre.
Yep.
Bye.
We'll
Thank
talk to
you.
you later.
Tyre Carver, ladies and gentlemen, longtime listener. There's no question about it.
I've got a follower on X that wants Andy to produce a photo of Dad on a carousel to see if it looks like the one that I posted because he thought that it was AI.
You thought it was AI?
What?
Because,
Why?
Because you were on a carousel, I think.
I was on a carousel. It's true. I was on a horse. The carousel is right
Can
next
you
to
do
it.
that easily?
Yeah.
You
What do
can?
you mean? Make an
What-
AI photo? Is that what
Well,
you're
but-
asking Andy to do?
I couldn't make one with specifically him.
Yeah, not
Okay.
with Dad.
Have Andy do it. Prompt mid-journey with Tom Barnard in a Hawaiian shirt next to artist Mickey Mouse
Yep.
or TV on a carousel and see how close the results are to your pictures.
Yeah, I don't know if Dad's famous enough to be
Yeah.
in there. I wonder,
What?
actually.
Are you famous enough?
That's a
I
good
don't know.
question.
Notorious enough. That's definitely true. I am notorious. There's no getting around it, right?
Yes.
Indeed.
I don't know. Like I said, I think everything went smoothly, very, very
No,
smoothly.
we had a great. I'm like Disney World was easy breezy. It was Saturday and Sunday that really wore me out.
No, coming back home.
Coming back home and doing the
Yeah.
dance competition, which we weren't supposed to do this dance competition. That's
Oh.
why we got back the night before a dance competition because this was not originally on the schedule. And then everybody was like, "Hey, it's 3 minutes from the studio. Does anyone want to do it?" And I was the only one of the team that
Didn't
was
want to?
that like had anything going on.
Oh.
And I was like, "Yeah, we can make it work. Like we're getting home by 6:30. It'll be fine. It's super close
Yeah.
to our house. Like it'll be fine." It was fine. Fawn did like all the dances did really well. She had a great time, but it was just exhausting.
I could see that. All right, we got about 4 minutes left. Any closing words?
I'm trying to do this prompt with.
yeah.
Oh, you are doing it. Okay.
Bing
Okay,
can
what,
do it.
so
I
what
have
are you
to-
on actually? I've never even tried
There's a
to
million
mess-
of these.
I've never
now.
even tried to mess around with it. I know
Me
everybody
neither.
has, but I have zero interest
Why,
in
do you
it.
think I looked like 2 different people or something?
What?
On the carousel and on the...
No, he was just wondering how it would look on AI, if AI would be close
Yeah,
to
no, Bing
what
won't even do
we
it,
said.
which isn't surprising.
Oh, won't even
These
do
days, everything is blocked. You try to generate a person, blocked. Try to generate a character, blocked.
it. Why?
Oh, you have to subscribe to something? You have to
No,
pay,
they just
I'm
won't
sure.
like to do it
Oh,
because they don't want you infringing on the copyright of the precious corporations.
Oh,
Your
I
own
suppose,
face?
yeah.
hmm
okay.
I suppose that's true. But yeah, if you haven't been with the kids, the grandkids, you got to go because it is it's a great experience. Don't you think?
Yes, it is a great experience. But like I said, figure out what your tolerance level is and plan accordingly. If
I know
you
we have
hate giant crowds. Do not go during spring break.
Oh, God, no.
Or
It was
any holiday.
gigantic.
Yeah, we have a neighbor that she just text messaged me after we got back from Disney, and she's like, "We're going to Disney at the end of May. Like, send me your tips."
End of
Then they have
May?
a
Should be okay.
5-year-old and a 13-year-old. I think she's 13. She's either 12 or 13.
It's quite the
No,
gap.
she's a 13. Yeah, yeah, she just turned 13, and so they'll have fun because like they'll only have one like little kid to
No.
deal with because they brought their daughter when she was I think 5 and she's like, it is really the perfect age.
Yeah, it
So-
is.
Now they're bringing their son when they're
Yeah,
5.
because they still like the characters. They're not too
Mhm.
cool for the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like Fawn, like we did a character breakfast and a character lunch, and Fawn's almost 8, and she's a too cool for school 8-year-old as well,
Mm-hmm.
because she spends time around a bunch of teenage girls, and she
Yep.
still thought it was so fantastic to see the Beast and Mickey and Minnie, and wanted pictures with them and stuff, and so I don't know.
She hugged Daisy Duck.
Yep, and Minnie,
Hugged me.
she hugged them all.
Yeah,
All
she did.
4 of them. Yeah.
She did, yes.
Mhm.
All right, well, that's going to do it. What's on for tomorrow?
Tomorrow is Tuesday.
Tomorrow's Tuesday.
That
Is that
is-
my
We have
court
Tim.
date?
We
Is
have
that my
Tim.
court date?
Timmy.
Court date.
Ralph, I don't believe is going to be in the next 2 Tuesdays, by the way.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
If you have any medical questions?
I
too
have
bad.
a parking ticket that I'm fighting City Hall on because I have pictures of the meter saying that there were 22 minutes left of my 3 hours, and I got a ticket anyway.
oh,
So I'm mad.
It's one of those deals in Florida. If you park your car and it doesn't have a Florida plate, you are going to get a ticket.
Yeah, they're pretty.
no, fun.
They're pretty ruthless.
Did-
My question is okay. So if everybody's using an app, so I use my app. I pay for parking. I pay for 2 hours. My appointment goes well, and I get out in 1. So there's an hour left on the parking meter. Can another car come in and use the hour?
Yes.
Yes.
But their license plate.
Oh yeah,
isn't-
that's right. These days
isn't
it's
on the
tied to
app.
the license plate, and they don't like you
Yep.
doing that.
That's right.
So,
They don't like
but
you paying it forward.
But so I leave. My space is open. There's still an hour on the app. So the person that takes my space, can they even get on? The
Yes,
app
if it's a
and
new
use-
car, because it's not like a parking meter situation where it's like you put the quarters in and then it
Yeah,
just
I
runs
know-
out
I
when it runs
understand.
out. It's like if you leave and there's still an hour on your thing and a new car comes in, they can always pay
on,
for it.
on the meter, it actually said that there was time left.
Oh, they still have that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
The app somehow connects to the meters now.
Yeah.
They're smart meters.
Well, it's because you have to buy it in blocks of time.
Yeah.
I know, but if there was 22 minutes left on the meter and somebody was going to run into a bank or just go, into a store and get a sandwich, why couldn't they just use the 22 minutes?
I know you
See?
used to be able to, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's a way for
probably
the city to
I
squeeze
was
more
gonna
money
say,
out of
it's
you.
probably different from city to city.
Hmm.
Yeah,
All the rules change.
It is
all the
ridiculous how they are on those meters. Like, they might as well just have a traffic cop for every single meter. They are just on them constantly.
Just have a line of cops standing
Seriously,
there.
they must
quarter
make so
counts.
much. They must make so much money on tickets.
Every
Mhm.
quarter
Well, I mean,
counts.
if they're not allowed to arrest actual criminals, then that's what they're going to do. They're going to watch
That's
meters.
true.
Well, like
That's a
we
very
went
good point.
downtown last night for the auto show, and not last night, during the day, and they Minneapolis just has the numbers. There's no
Yeah.
actual meter of any kind. So you just you have to download the app, or you
Mhm.
can go to the kiosk thing and then you
Mhm.
have to type in the number. So there's no way to know if there's time on the meter left.
Yeah, well, some of them are like
anymore.
that down here,
Yeah.
and some of them have a meter that you can still plug some money into, but it also is the app.
Oh
It's
yeah,
very
where
confusing.
you can use quarters and your
Yes.
phone. Yeah.
Yeah, because some people, like my dad, if he wanted to park downtown when he was
Yeah,
still
he wouldn't
driving, there's no way he
have
would
an
ever
app.
figure out how to do an
No.
app.
No.
There's no way. So how
Yeah.
does a person like him park?
I know a lot of the time the kiosks, even if you were like, oh, I can pay with a credit card, it's like 2 blocks away in
Yeah.
the wrong direction. It's like,
Yeah.
okay,
It's very inconvenient.
I know it is. Yeah, I don't know.
All right, that is going to do it for today. We will talk to everybody tomorrow.
Toodaloo.
Bye.
Got a picture in my noggin reminds me of this one was before. Every time I hear the singing reminds me how you talk in my door.